Hello everyone, welcome to day 346 of a Stitch a Day 365 days crochet challenge. In today's video, we are looking at how to crochet this pumpkin stitch on a mesh base. Okay, so this can be done in two ways. One, having closer pumpkins crocheted into the mesh, or you can do it this way. So let's start with the stitch. For the base, I'm using this yellow. I'm starting with a basic mesh which requires a foundation chain which is a multiple of 3. Okay, now I'm going to add 5 chains to it. The chain 3 counts as 1 double crochet, and the extra 2 chains are the chains in between the mesh. I'm going to skip 2 stitches at the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Into the 8th stitch, I'm making 1 double crochet. Okay, now again chain 2, skip 2 and make 1 double crochet. Again chain 2, skip 2, make 1 double crochet. Continue this till you reach the end of the row. Okay, now we need to create loops to place our pumpkins in. So that is done by crocheting a row of single crochet stitches, and wherever you want a pumpkin you have to make a loop. I'll show you how. So chain 1, turn your work. Now say like I want to place the pumpkin over here and here. All I have to do is on top of the double crochet make 1 single crochet. We have 2 chains here, so you can do 2 single crochets into this space and make 1 single crochet on top of the double crochet. So that is the mesh without the pumpkin. So I want to place the pumpkin into this stitch here. So what I'll do is the 2 single crochets that I'm crocheting into this space, I'll add a chain 3 in between. Okay, so 1, 2, 3. Again make 1 more single crochet into the same stitch, same space. Now into the double crochet make a single crochet. Again make 2 single crochets into the chain 2 space and 1 double crochet on top of the mesh. Again here I'm going to place the pumpkin. So 1 single crochet, 3 chains and 1 more single crochet into the same space. Again 1 single crochet on top of the double crochet, 2 single crochets into the space and 1 single crochet onto the chain 3. So chain 2 from here, 1, 2, 1, 2 and 3 on top of this. That completes our next row. Now chain 5, okay, and drop the loop. Now we are going to add our pumpkin row. Can I skip the chain 5 for now? Okay, so I want the pumpkins to be at the front, so I'm going to attach the orange yarn over on this end. Okay, attach your yarn on top of the first single crochet, make one single crochet and continue to make two chains and one single crochet on top of the next single crochet. You're going to skip two single crochets and have one single crochet. So into this we are going to do a pumpkin stitch. So this stitch is going to be a puff stitch with two yarn overs. So yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop. Close this puff stitch with a chain. Again repeat the same thing. You can choose to do this 3 times or 5 times depending on how big or small you want the pumpkins to be. So the swatch I have done here has 5 parts. I'm going to show you with 3. Okay, so done with the 3 stitches. Now again make sure to make one single crochet on top of this single crochet right here. Chain 2, skip 2 single crochets, make one single crochet right there and place your pumpkin stitch into the next loop. Yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, insert, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull out of all loops and chain 1. Again repeat the same thing. Make one single crochet, chain 2 and make one single crochet onto this last stitch as well. Don't worry about the loop, you can tighten the loop once you get to the yellow row again. Chain 1 and you can snip off this edge. You can attach the pumpkin yarn again when you want to crochet the next row. Okay, so now we are moving on to the green row where again you start from this side so that the pumpkins are facing up. Chain 1, make one single crochet into the first stitch, chain 2, sorry, you can do chain 3 because we have to reach to the pumpkin stitch. On top of each of this shell, sorry, on top of each of this puff stitch and between the puff stitches you're going to pick up a loop. Okay, on top of the puff stitch, in between the puff stitch, on top of the puff stitch and at the end between the puff stitch and the single crochet. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 loops on your hook. Pull up all 7 loops together, close it up, chain 3 and slip stitch into the 2 chains to create the stem. Okay, again make one single crochet on top of that single crochet right there, chain 3, make one single crochet on top of the single crochet right there, again between the puff stitch on top of the puff stitch, between the puff stitch on top of the puff stitch, between the puff stitch on top of the puff stitch, between the puff stitch and the single crochet, yarn over, pull out of all the loops, chain 3, slip stitch back into the chains and one slip stitch onto that closing stitch, make one single crochet on top of the single crochet, chain 3, make one single crochet on top of the last single crochet right there. Now chain 1 and you can cut the yarn. Now coming back to our mesh row, pick up your yellow loop again, chain 5, turn your work. So you're going to skip these two rows. Okay, so you're not going to worry about the green part. Just directly go into the yellow stitch from your previous mesh stitch row, pull up a loop and make a extended double crochet stitch. Okay, again chain 2, yarn over, go back into that yellow row, pull up a loop, make a extended double crochet stitch. Okay, again chain 2, go back into that stitch. So basically you're creating the mesh part again. Okay, again chain 2, make the extended double crochet, make a chain 2 and make an extended double crochet. So that's it about the stitch. So you can again repeat the loop row, the pumpkin row, and your pumpkin stitch on a mesh is ready. Do try out the stitch, and if you have any doubts you can leave it in the comment section below, and I'll meet you tomorrow with yet another interesting crochet stitch.